That's really cool. Welcome everybody. This is the 12th grade C, and today we are having some English language and pronunciation course. The idea of this course is we're going to finish a part of the slang and the idioms by the end of this month in the first week of September. With the 12th grade B, they're going to give me the video on the 5th of September. So if you want to do it, or if you want to give me the video or the audio, whatever it is, about the slang, the idioms, you can give it to me on the 5th of September. So decide that, and your president can tell me at the end of the class, maybe if you want to give it, about the Google Docs with the dialogues and the idioms and the slang. I'm going to give you until the week of the 29th. Okay, so it's the 24th till the 29th. You can give me the Google Docs document. Think about that, and at the end of the class, you guys tell me what do you think. And we're gonna expand that. Okay, it was very interesting to work with slang. It was very interesting to work with vivid language. So what we're gonna do is to get to know more about English as a language, and also some deep contents on it. For example, accent or dialects, and some of the history, or some of the origin of English. And we're going to connect that to pronunciation. So ideally, this course that we hope to continue until the end of the year, we'll be giving you insights about the origin of English language. Insights are ideas like knowledge, and as we're studying in this course, which is focused on English pronunciation and British pronunciation specifically, you'll be able to contrast, okay, to detect the differences between American and other types of accent, and hopefully improve your clarity, fluency, and also knowledge about sounds. Also, it's important to mention that this is also a cultural objective. Okay, so what we're going to do today has to do with general concepts. So today we'll be dealing with history, accents, dialects, and we have a practical activity about some English, some British pronunciation practice, and a short homework connected with that. Next class, which is in 2 more weeks, we'll be checking on regional British accents, Mancunian, South Cockney, that's to say the accents of Manchester, Liverpool, and part of London. And then we'll continue with more things. We're gonna be finishing with connected speech, which is the gold or the treasure of this thing, which is connected to how to speak more fluently. We're gonna check some rules, some tips, some things that it can help you out. So, as the beginning of everything, we have to talk about the origins of English language. Please remember to ask questions, okay, whenever you want. So, if we talk about the origins of language, this is very old, and it goes to the 5th century AD, okay? So we're taking a lot of time, and when we talk about the beginnings, we're talking about people. So what we had that in the British Isles, okay? In the British Isles, we had some people living there, and these people were called the Celts, or Celtas, as you call them in Spanish, the Celts, and they spoke Celtic. So they were living there in peace, okay? They were tribes, they weren't a country unified. So one day, in the 5th century, tribes coming from the northern part of Germany and Denmark, called the Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons, they came to invade the island. In the island, they faced some resistance, but the Celtic were more kind of focused on religion, druids, magic, as many people say, and they were focused on. They were very kind of a old and rustic civilization. These new Germanic tribes came and defeated them, and they pushed the Celtics to areas of Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The Angles, which later fusion with the Saxons, came from Angleland. So that's why their language was called Englic. Okay, so in this case, that's why English, or the name of English, comes from. It comes from the region, okay, where the Angles came. They came from a region called Angleland. So they came, okay, they came and they established here. Obviously, these three tribes had language in common. It was Germanic kind of language, okay. They came, they stayed here, they founded different kingdoms, and they had different kings, and they pushed back the Celts to Wales, Scotland, the Isle of Man, and also to Ireland. All right, so what comes next is, in this time now, the Roman Empire is big and massive. So what we have here is the Romans came to Britain. Obviously, before all this, we also had, obviously the Romans came, and what we have now is that when the British Empire was really big, they came and had some incursions in the island. So first of all, the first incursion was on the 43 AD. This is after Christ, right? After Domini, which is after God. In this case, it's Julius Caesar, and he came of an incursion. It didn't last long. They just came to see what's going on, but they had to go back to France, or the Gallia, to defeat a rebellion. So the incursion was minimum. So they expanded a bit to this area, but actually didn't conquer anything. They just established in some places, and that was it. They got to the area of Kent, which is Colchester, around here. Oh, sorry, around the red one here, the area of Kent, Canterbury, as we're going to see later. Then, because of an emperor called Claudius, he had a very bad reputation as an emperor. He decided to expand his realm, so he decided to make the empire bigger, and Britain was the perfect excuse. So he came again on the 43 AD with lots of Romans. He brought lots of legions, and they came in and they established and fought many of the Anglo-Saxon tribes. The Jutes lived up north, kind of here, part of Scotland, northern England, but the Anglo-Saxons were the ones that fought the Romans here. The Romans were great. As you know, they were very good builders, they were architects, and they built lots of cities. As you can see in the picture, they built the city, first of all, the city of Londinium, the actual London, right? They also, all the cities called Chester, they come from the Roman origin. So we call Manchester, Colchester, Chichester, we have Dorchester, we have also Hampton, Oakhampton, we have Colhampton, and all those cities, okay, Worcester, sorry, someone's speaking. Okay, don't worry, Ignacio. All those cities were founded by the Romans. The city of Bath, for example, the city of Westchester, Colchester, okay, all those are Roman cities. And also they started building roads, so the connection between the towns became faster. Okay, so you could travel around the cities, and also that expanded the language. In this case, Latin. Okay, so Latin became part of the island. In this case, the governors of the cities spoke Latin. The members of the councils spoke Latin, and the poor people, or the slaves in this case, or the other people, the Anglo-Saxons, they spoke their old English. Okay, That's why somehow English, when you study English, some words they are very similar to Spanish. It's because both of the languages come from Latin. If you, for example, check out the word victory, victory come from victorium, and victorium means is a Latin word, okay? And we have it in Spanish as well for the same root, and many other words affected or influenced the English language, and we have them also in Spanish, but because of the same thing. So what else they did? They built aqueducts. Okay, they built also a big wall here called the Adrian Wall, which is still you can visit. Okay, and it's a division between the. I mean, it's not the actual division, but it was a division that the Roman Empire had with the British Isles, or the part of England and Scotland. Okay, because up there the Jutes lived and they invaded a lot and they were very annoying. We also can highlight one of the remarkable people in this time, Boudica. Boudica was a queen of some of the tribes, okay, not the Romans, okay, and she rebelled against the Romans, and she's very famous, Boudica, and she was a queen of a tribe, and she rebelled and burned Londinium and burned other places like St. Albans and also Colchester. She was a headache for the Romans for a time until she poisoned herself and she died. But is a cool figure at that time. Alrighty, let's continue. So finally, the Romans decided to leave. Okay, they left the island because obviously the empire was falling apart, and they were being invaded by lots of barbaric tribes. Okay, and finally, that resulted in the collapse of the Roman Empire. So once the Romans left the island, the only people that were left there were the old Anglo-Saxons, right? Now, obviously, they had a mix with the Romans, so some of them were like descendants from the Romans, and they kept some Latin words as well. Plus, it's very important to mention that Catholicism entered also in the island. Catholicism and the priests and everyone talked about or talked Latin, so Latin was present there. Okay, it's very important to have that in mind. So we had people in the island that stayed there living. Okay, and what we have here is that these tribes, they kept living there, they added new sounds. Okay, and that's the time that we call the Old English. Okay, so Old English is very different from English now. We still have some words like water, strong, and other things like the words, the verb to be, they come from the Old English. And do you know the book or the poem, or does the name Beowulf ring a bell? Do you know anything about Beowulf? This one? Beowulf?
No.
Okay, no worries. Actually, you can.
Creo que sí, pero no sabría decirlo,
Ajá, la Fran no.
no sabría, es que había mucho ruido en mi casa, no sabría decirlo en inglés, pero fue un loco que era un guerrero que era muy poderoso y casi siempre ganaba todas sus batallas, y hace como supuestamente un trato con una bruja, y de ahí sale un hijo que tiene como superpoderes, pero él lo tiene que matar para tener su pueblo como sano, una cosa así. Había una película de eso donde es animada, pero sale como la mala es como Angelina Jolie, si no me equivoco.
You're totally right. So yes, there's a movie about Beowulf. It's very entertaining if you like historical kind of mythical legends. You have that movie, but in this case, Beowulf, it's pretty relevant because it's the first poem, or it's the first written, okay, extract, or the first written evidence that we have in the history of English. And it was written in Old English, so it's like the first thing they found on language. Okay, That's why it's so important. It's a poem, of course, that tells a story about this hero, okay, and the mythical hero of this person. It's really entertaining. What we have now is the Middle English. So Middle English starts when William the Conqueror comes from Normandy. As you know, Normandy is the northern part of France, and here, if you watch the Vikings, some Vikings stay in the northern part of France, and then they became the Normans. So the Normans, they spoke French, and they were very powerful and very rich because this is a very rich area. So on the 10th 66, a very, very important date, which England loves to highlight, the invaders, the Normans, came to England. They had a professional army, they had lots of troops, and they defeated these kings that lived here. Okay, they had a very, very famous fight in the Battle of Hastings against Harold Andrade. So finally, William the Conqueror becomes the king of England. And what's new about him? Well, he's French. He's a Norman. He speaks French. So he brought all his people, all the nobles, all the rich people, all the merchants, they spoke French. So now we have a country where the rich people, the people in power, they speak French. We have where the church is in Latin, and we have the regular people, the commoners, the workers, the farmers, they speak their English, okay, their Middle English. And now obviously we can this class division between the lower classes and the upper classes. French has been always seen like a rich kind of rich people language. In this case, it's because of this, of the Norman conquest. So what we have here also, that many French words came to the English language. Again, English language has been absorbing lots of words, Latin, okay, and now French. So we adding words like, for example, pleasure, leisure, okay. We adding other words like reservoir, okay. Other words like, for example, bouquet, ballet, pork. Okay, those things are being added to this modern Middle English. And during this time, obviously, most of the written things were in French, okay, or Latin. And one man, Geoffrey Chaucer, who was a poet and a writer, published his first, the Canterbury Tales. Canterbury Tales is also one of the first records of Middle English. In this case, very fun stories about regular people, about people who were doing a pilgrim, un viaje peregrino, okay, a pilgrim to the Canterbury place, which was a holy place, right? So in this case, he talks about all the stories that regular people told, and that was a great success. No one ever told stories about regular people, because all the written things were written like for the rich. All right, let's continue. So what we have next is the early modern English, and here we have a big event called the Great Vowel Shift. Great Vowel Shift was an event that happened in this time, and this made vowels, or las vocales, being pronounced differently. That is in a nutshell. And also, during this time, British people were traveling around the world as well, and they had contact with other people from other places. So English again started becoming influenced by other people around the globe. We have also the Renaissance. We have also the printing press. Okay, so now we had books, right? And we had also Shakespeare, who, according to what people say, he added lots of new words to the English language. And what is more even relevant is that we have the first dictionary. So that was a breakthrough, to have a standardized book of the correct words in English. Hamlet, in this case, the Prince of Denmark, is written, or was written in this case, in early modern English. Finally, we have English that we use today. which is late modern English and has evolved or has changed from two main factors, which is Industrial Revolution and technology. And we can say also that the expansion of the British Empire made that possible too. That's why many people speak English nowadays. That led to different varieties of English. So as we know, because of the British Empire, lots of countries adopted this language, okay? And we are living in a time where American English is part of the dominant culture. In the past, it was British English, or Britain in this case, because of a large empire and the colonies. But now is the America or the United States influencing television, music, technology, internet mostly, and also other varieties of English have been studied. Okay, we have the main ones from the Great Britain or British English, American English, Scottish, Irish, Canadian English, Australian, New Zealand, and South African, and we have other countries from the Caribbean as well, or from other places like speak English as well. India, Panama as well. They have adopted English like the first language. So our next topic is a bit different. One of the first things we have to understand are some differences in concepts. First things are the concepts of language and dialect. Okay? When we talk about languages and dialects, people or linguists, they have no clear difference. But some others say that dialects mainly function on the spoken area. So languages, dialects, usually are spoken. They don't have a dictionary. They don't have anything else written. Okay, they don't have rules like grammatic rules or those sort of things. Whereas language includes everything. Okay, they include spoken and written areas. So we can say somehow that language is a big picture of the thing, is the big thing. And inside we can have dialects. Just like we have in, for example, in Spanish, we have our common language, which is Spanish, right? Language. And then we have different dialects, like the ones that we use in Chile, right? With all the changes and slang that we use, they are not usually written. We usually speak about them, but they are not in dictionaries. You cannot write them in, for example, a report or in the news, okay? Those are dialects. Also, the differences between dialects and accents. So we know that now dialects are big thing and smaller thing than languages. And the main difference between accents is that accents is how people pronounce the words from a dialect. Okay? How people pronounce words from a dialect. And the dialect is all of those things, all encompassing. An example, we can say Australian. Okay, let's say Australian English. Itself is a dialect. It has different words. People pronounce it differently. And it's the accent, the pronunciation part, which gives them the name of accent. And it's the set of words, how they speak, is the dialect. So in conclusion, we can have, let me have my pen. Language is a big picture. Horrible. Inside language, we have dialects. And inside dialects, we have their accent. This is a sound. There should be accents. There should be dialects. And there should be language. Okay? Alrighty. Questions so far? Oh, okay, let's continue. All right. If we talk about accents and variations, we will be studying variations of English in the UK. In this map that obviously you can't see very well because it's bad quality, you can see the British Isles and These are divided in areas, right? Different areas, geographical areas, and inside every geographical areas are the type of accents, okay? The different accents. We're going to be focusing in the next couple of classes on some of them. For example, we're going to have a look at Scottish, we're going to have a look at Irish, we're going to have a look at Welsh. In the south of England, we're going to have a look at Cockney accent, which I think you can find in Peaky Blinders. In the area of the Midlands, from another big city, we have the Brummie accent, which is the one from Birmingham, which is the second largest city in England. Also, in the north, we'll be checking 3, the Geordie accent. We'll be checking the Scouse and Mancunian. Geordie accent, okay, about this area. Scouse, the area of Liverpool, and Mancunian is the area of Manchester. We'll be checking those different accents in a couple of next classes, different words and how they change their sounds from the one that we know, right? Question, people. Doubt. No? Okay. All right. Now we're going to start with the pronunciation. So my recommendation is try to be very attentive. Beware, I'm going to call your names so you can help me repeat some words or pronounce. And so we're going to start with first the phonemic chart. The phonemic chart is a set of group of sounds. We're going to have a look now. And they're going to help us to pronounce, okay? They help our pronunciation. Disclaimer or clarification, this is not the alphabet. These are sounds, okay? So we have vowels, we have diphthongs, and we have consonants. Remember, these are sounds. We have 24 consonants, sounds. 1, 2, 3, okay, we have 12 vowels or vowel sounds, and we have 8 diphthongs. Each diphthong or each vowel or each consonant pronounces differently. These symbols look very weird, okay? But once you understand them, you'll see why dictionaries sometimes have very, very strange written areas. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna go to a dictionary. I'm gonna find the word legend. Okay, I'm gonna erase this. I have here the word legend, and what you usually have is the word. Then we have the part of the speech. This is a noun, substantivo. We have the pronunciation British. We have a pronunciation American English, and then we have these things. These things are the symbols that we're just watching, okay? So all of these symbols, they help us how to pronounce the word. So for example, I could read this and without pressing the sound, I know how to pronounce this. What I have here is a stress, un tilde, un acento. Por lo tanto, la palabra se acentúa acá. Then we have le, j. This is the sound j. This is the sound legend. And then we have sound nd, legend, legend. This helps me how to pronounce. Obviously, if I know the sound, if I know the phonemic chart. I'm going to go now. Look at that sound. J is right here. J. Let me open this back again. Okay, we have those sounds there. J. So we have L, L, J, le, J, in sound ND and diligent. Examples of words. Okay, some clarifications. When you see the sounds, you have some things. These things mean the length, la longitud. Generalmente cuando sale esto es que son largas, ¿ok? Son largas. Examples. I'll need your help now. Tyra. Okay. Can you read the examples of the vowel sound E?
Sheep, eagle, and field.
Perfect. So as Tyra mentioned, this sound is longer. It's an E. Okay, so like sheep, like eagle, field, like cheese. Okay, and that sound makes it longer. Okay, this sound, which is an E as well, is what we call a short E. So this sound is I. I. Isi, can you go for the examples? I.
Yo, teacher, hablo a mí.
Yes, please.
Ah, yeah. Sheep, busy, started.
Okay, so what we have is I. It's very to A, but it's like a combination of a E and A. So it's I. So we have ship, yes, ship. And also we have, like Isi mentioned, busy, busy, started, started, So this, usually people contrast them, like in the words ship and ship. You can see the difference right there. Ship is long, and this is ship. It's very short and almost ship. It's the same like cheap. Something that is cheap is low price, so it's here. And a chip, una moneda o un chip de teléfono. The other contrast that we have is okay. So we have short, right? Short and we have long Ignacio Tapia, have you got microphone?
Yeah.
Okay, man. Can you go? Sorry. Can you go for this one?
Profe, ese ship es como de barato, ¿no? El primero.
No, this one is the animal.
Ah, porque yo dije, no era con C o no.
Yeah, that's the other one. Chip.
Ah.
Pero el sonido este, fíjate, mira, tenemos sonido ch. Sería que está acá. Luego, bueno, el tilde está acá adelante, entonces teníamos que poner como algo así como tilde. Es como una T y una F, muy raro el fonema. Estos son fonemas. Los fonemas son símbolos de sonido. Chip. Nos pide el de barato, nos pide esta ahí. Entonces tendría que poner acá. Ahí con los puntitos. Chuta. Qué feo. Ya, filo. Ahí con el puntito. Y chip. Termina con P. Sonido P. Ahí tendríamos la transcripción fonética de esta palabra. Chip. ¿Ya? Así funciona. Se van mezclando. Hay otras. Generalmente es fácil hacerlo, ¿ya? Pero primero hay que aprenderse esto. ¿Es obligación aprendérselo ahora? No. Ya, dale, Miss Ignacio. Let's go with the sound U. U.
Good.
Yes.
Should. Put.
Nice. So it's short, it's dry, it's very similar to this one. This is I, this is U. Okay? It's very short and similar. Contrast is this one. This is U. Okay? So let's go, Diego Romero. Can you go this one, please? This sound is U.
Moon?
Yes, yes. Can you do the other one, please? The other two words.
Ese era como through y grew.
Grew and through. Nice. Through. Good. Through. It's very important sometimes, Dieguito, and we also exaggerate. If we want to sound clear, usually we exaggerate the differences of the vowels or the sounds in general. So It is very important that we make the difference between this U and you. This is U, and you did perfectly. This is moon, and this is grew. This is through, right? Perfect, nice. Then we have which is quite simple. We have bed, dead, set. It's a regular we have it in Spanish as well. Then we have which is very lazy, like about, please, the, this is and then we have this sound, which is we have bird, we have hurt, we have work. I want to focus on this one now. Amigo, Cata Galvez.
Aquí estoy.
Okay, Granny, can you repeat with me? Bird,
Bird,
hurt,
hurt, work.
very nice. Okay. So you can, if you could hear Miss Granny, is that she made this sound like lazy, like Okay, that is that phoneme. Then we have the next one, which is is long, and this is an O. So it's a very deep O. So we have do, we have walk, we have saw. Then we have okay, which is It's like apple, es como una AE. Apple es muy abierta. Apple, cat, mat. Then we have A, which is short. Es como una A, en realidad. Up, money, cut. Así nomás. Then we have the long A, which is car, bath, safari. Si pueden ver, son profundas y son largas. Igual que esta. Son profundas y largas. And then we have O. Not, what, become. Sorry, because. Es una O corta. Porque no tiene el puntito. And then we have all the different diphthongs. We have ear, here, career. We have a, train, plane, say. We have your, sure, tourist, tourist. And we have oi, boy, point, oil. Then we have coat. We have coat, low, note. Then we have hair, like hair, careful, there. Then we have I, like in buy, high, fine. Then we have ow, like now, our, and house. So these are the diphthongs. Diphthongs are a combination of vowels. Yes, miss.
¿Cómo era la E al revés? No entendí eso. Es como una A.
¿Cuál? ¿Esta?
Sí, esa, pero, o sea, junta con las otras y esa sola.
Esta.
No, la que dijo primero. Pero...
Esta. Ya. Ya, esta es un sonido muy débil. La pronunciación de ella es es como una A, pero muy débil. Please, about,
eso sonaba extraño, así como, por ejemplo, en el de pelo y las con los diptongos. Es como raro. Ya, pero gracias.
Usually, Tyra, people contrast these two. Wait. People contrast. Es muy bueno siempre contrastar porque es una forma de aprenderlas más rápido. Estas dos las contrastan. ¿En qué idea? En que esta es larga. De hecho, suenan parecidas. Esta es larga. Esta es la famosa schwa, ¿ok? Que le da dolor de cabeza a muchas personas. La típica que dice father, mother. Esa es la famosa schwa. The, brother. Todas esas terminaciones son esta.
Teacher.
Diga.
Tengo una duda, es que ya va a ser, es que me acordé ahorita que estaba viendo esto. El otro día estaba escuchando una canción que igual es como media viejita, pero se llama Telephone Line. Y en la canción el cantante pronuncia telephone como telephone, como telephone. Entonces es como, cuando escuché la canción por primera vez fue como que no es telephone. Entonces no sé si hay alguna diferencia, porque estoy casi segura que el cantante no es de Estados Unidos y creo que es británico, no sé.
Ajá.
Pero ¿hay alguna diferencia como en palabras así?
Yes, actually, these sounds that I'm showing you now, they can vary. They can vary depending on the accent and the area. These are the kind of a standard thing, okay? The standard. But if you go to Liverpool or if you go to other places, these can change easy. So for example, probably that person is not from the area where standard English is spoken. Maybe he's from the north. So they change things. For example, here we have with yellow, I have up, right? Up is vocal A, okay? Vocal A, ni un problema. Money, cut. Pero si nos vamos a Manchester con el acento de Mancunian, para ellos es O. Entonces es up, es money, and es cut. Ese tipo de variaciones, y si van a depender del lugar donde vive esta persona, y seguramente esa persona vive en otro lado, que no es como el área como céntrica.
Ah, ya.
O sea, teléfono, sería bacán ver de dónde viene. Ahí podríais deducir.
Ya, ya, ya.
Es muy común y extraño
Ujú.
que los cantantes británicos al cantar como que borran su acento. Es muy extraño ese fenómeno. No sé cómo explicarlo. Bueno, la mayoría, no todo. Yeah, so there. Thank you, Easy. Good comment. Usually they contrast these two, okay? Because this is short, like mother, about, police, the, and this is it's the same, but this is longer and more exaggerated, like bird, herd, work, and this is only and this is
Ver, ahí busqué y el solista es de británico.
Bueno, tienen que cachar de qué parte.
Es de Birmingham, algo así.
Okay, entonces debe tener lo que le dicen un broomy accent. Broomy. Es re interesante. Si ustedes se ponen a buscar en YouTube, buscan, este es Brumie. Empiezan a buscar los acentos y hay cosas muy simpáticas. Broomy accent. Hay que ver ahí qué cambio hacen. Quizás la E la cambian por I. Es una cosa. Ahí vamos a ver en la clase que viene diferencia entre los acentos. Hay cosas muy interesantes. If I continue with the other things, we have then the consonants. Repito, no es el alfabeto, son sonidos. We have pen, hopping, jump. We have bee, ball, hobby, herb. We have tea, table, little, watched. We have sound D, dog, added, and played. Coméntame. Then we have the sound ch. Okay, ch. Chips, itch, picture. ¿Ya? En español no existe esa diferencia entre la ch y la sh. El fenómeno que existe en español, especialmente en Chile, entre la diferencia del sh y el ch es socioeconómica. No hay una referencia fonética entre ambas diferencias. O sea, si es que alguien dice chileno o ocho y ocho, generalmente se relaciona con nivel socioeconómico o educativo. In English, it's different. There exist differences. So this is chips, itch, picture, ch. Sound j, jam, danger, fudge. Sound k, key, car, look. Sound g, like green, hug, and league. Sound f, like fire, laugh, phone. Si se fijan, repito, no son consonantes. O sea, no son alfabetos. Acá hay una PH, pero suena como F. Como photograph. Ah, buena. Sí, po. Excepto se enseñara antes, quizá, o si se enseñara en los colegios, porque no sale nada, ningún programa te dicen que enseña. Quizá spelling bee sería mucho más fácil. Then we have sound V, like in video, move, off. Sound, que te les cuesta mucho. Sound, I repeat, thick, healthy, teeth. Tal como dice la palabra, la lengua va entre los dientes para poder hacer el sonido. Like in thick, thank you. Thick. Sí, perfecto. Thick. Ahora cuidado que el sonido TH o cuando hay TH se pronuncia de dos formas. Este es el sonido que es un sonido sin voz o unvoiced. Y aquí tenemos, bueno, acá lo dice, voice son los sonidos que vibran en las cuerdas vocales. Y los unvoiced, que son los claros, son los que no vibran en las cuerdas vocales. Este es un sonido unvoiced, no vibra, porque es, pasa el aire, pero en mi garganta no pasa nada. Opuesto al sonido the, tengo vibración en mis cuerdas vocales, por lo tanto es un sonido voiced. Y este es el sonido mother, the, this, with, no es with, es with. So these are different sounds. Son distintos. I'll poner ahí. Then we have the sound C, city, notice. Then we have the sound Z, zebra or zebra for British people, zebra. We have cozy, we have has. Then we have the sound sh, like in shop, like a nation, like special, like a nationality. Then we have the sound Z, como abeja, como Z. Television, visual, leisure, pleasure. No, pleasure, no sirve pleasure, porque tiene doble S. Generalmente este sonido se encuentra cuando hay una SE entre ambas vocales, entre dos vocales. Leisure, es un sonido muy raro. Se hace con los dientes y la lengua aplastada. Sound M like a man, tummy, lamb. Sound N like a no, funny, knife. Nunca más knife, por favor. Sound N like an sing. Todas las palabras con ING llevan este sonido. Like a sing, like an ankle, like an angry. Sound IA, mi favorito. Porque así la gente para decir yes y empieza a decir yes. Es un sonido I. IA, yes, onion, onion, yen, view, you. Sound L, light, smelly, and feel. Sound R, like in right, very, wrong. Es un sonido muy especial. Vamos a ver qué onda en inglés británico. Sound W, like in win, like in where, like in one. And sound house, like in hungry, like in who. Es unvoiced, es house. Okay, this is the phonemic chart, and as conclusion we have vowels. Okay, we mentioned that we have 12 vowels, 12 sonidos vocálicos. We have 24 consonants, 24 sonidos consonantes, and we have 8 diphthongs or diphthongos. Okay. Questions? Oh, maldición, nos queda poco tiempo. Voy a tener que acelerar. Está muy interesante. Yeah. Okay, so what we have here is part of the homework. What we're going to do is that these words, they have different categories. Okay, this is a category, this is another category, this is another category, this is another category. And this was taken from a YouTube channel. Very nice, with good information. And what we're going to do is that each of these groups focuses on a different sound. So these are British sounds. You're going to help me repeat them. Okay, first of all, we're going to focus on the vowel sound R. Okay, it's very important to mention that this sound is deep and long. Okay, in American English, they use the rhotic R. That means that they pronounce the R, like in art, like in heart, like in car, like in dark. Okay, but British English isn't rhotic, so that means no R. Okay. What we have here is that this sound R comes with, when we have an R and a vowel. Okay, we have here R and a vowel, R and vowel, R and R and R, vowel and R. When we have vowel and double S, vowel and double S, vowel and TH, vowel and S, vowel and S. That is where this sound appears and sounds like this, like art, heart, car, dark, heart, class, glass, bath, ask, task. Ya, ¿quién quiere probar? Vamos a la Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, give it a try.
¿Qué cosa?
Can you repeat the ones I mentioned?
Ah, ya. Ay, espere.
Try to use
Art,
this.
odd. Es que tengo mi perrita acá, que mi mamá salió, entonces está como loca.
Okay, no worries. Do you want to change or is that okay? You can do it. Okay, Mary Poppins is dead. Probably.
Ya volví.
Poppins.
Entonces, repito lo que usted dijo.
Yeah, but listen. Try to do it with the British pronunciation. We already mentioned the difference in American, which is the R is mentioned.
Yeah.
Clue. La R no la pronuncias. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. Odd, hot, car, dark, hard, glass, bath, ask, task.
Very nice. Very nice. Recuerden que esto es como profundo, entonces, así como Mary Poppins dijo odd, es como una A como para este de atrás, viene de atrás, de hecho. Poppins, can you repeat this one, please?
Glass,
Como glass. Y esta,
bath.
okay. So, for example, Americans will pronounce bath. Su sonido A de acá sería A, bath, esa como AE, que es así. Pero británico sería esta. Bath. Y la sería bath. Y ask también. Y task. Estas son A, profundas, ¿ok? Para que la tengan en cuenta para su tarea. Next one. Me estoy apurando a ver qué puedo. This next phoneme is O, okay? It's deep, long, and comes from the back. So, we have, ¿quién va a intentar esta? Let's go. Miyarai, Miribilu. I'm going to give you the hint. Okay, Miribilu.
Okay.
So we have O, Mo, Wo, For, Horse, Thought, Tot, Bought, Caught, and Walk.
Yeah. Yeah. Or more, war, for, horse, tot,
Yeah.
tot,
Mhm.
boat, couch, walk.
Ajá, me gusta tu sonido, es bien fuerte y es bacán. Cuando lo tengan que hacer la tarea, conscientemente anulen la R. Si la mencionan, vas a ser mezclado, ¿ya? Porque si yo digo fu, hago la O y al final termino con R, for, ya es como medio quiltro, ¿ya? Entonces, conscientemente sáquenla y quedaría solamente for. Esa no. Lo mismo acá. Quedaría como horse. Esa no. ¿Ya? Thank you, Milivilo. Very nice. Next sound is es un sonido muy flojo. Yeah, it's the lazy sound. And it sounds like suena así tal cual. Pero al tener dos puntitos un poco más exagerado, un poco más largo. Entonces, we have wear, work, bird, girl, world, warm, worst, thirsty, dirty, earth. Sonido And Tara, want to give it a try? Tara isn't here. Okay, let's go another one.
¿Me dijo a mí?
Yeah, Tara.
Ah, no había escuchado bien. Dije, había escuchado Tomás. Ya. Where, work, bird, girl, word, warm, worst, thirsty, dirty, hair.
No, can you pronounce this one again, please?
Earth. Creo, ¿no? Ahí sí.
El sonido no es el sonido es like
Earth. Ahí.
Yes. Sonido muy como cuando nosotros hacemos así. ¿Qué estoy diciendo? Es un sonido muy extraño, pero este vendría a ser ese. Perfect. Lo mismo, una T muy clara, muy bacán. And we're around to finish. We have diphthongs. We have one of my favorite ear. Okay, ear is one of the diphthongs. It sounds like ear. Y la lengua es plana para poder hacerla. Like for example, ear, beer, beard, here, dear. Vamos al... ¿Quién tiene el micrófono aquí? Mr. Madrigal, let's go. Ayúdanos. Si quiere le repito, como quiera.
Ear, beer, beard, here, dear.
Okay, that is, for example, Mr. Madrigal has rhetoric R, pronuncia la R, por lo tanto suena más americano. Cuando graben su tarea, intenten eliminarla, ¿ya? Los sonidos también, Mr. Francisco, no worries, está súper bien. Para la tarea, exageremos British. Entonces quedaría como, solo como ear. Oh, he touched my ear. Ear.
Mr. D, ¿puede volver a decir la diferencia entre la 2 y la 3? Por favor.
Oh, yeah. Beer, beard. Es solo la D. La única diferencia que le pillo. Una pasa de largo. Beer, beard.
Ok, gracias.
Actually, no, Ignacio. Both, it could be Australian, whatever you like. All of them are correct. This is only a variation. Y el objetivo del curso es poder ver las diferencias y también saber elegir. ¿Ya? Saber elegir informadamente de cómo funciona y cómo suena. Ok, este es el último, de hecho. Y para que vayan a mostrar. Sorry. And finally, we have air. 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 Se abre un poco más la boca y la lengua es plana otra vez. Air. So we have air, air, air. En ninguna se pronuncia la R, claro. Hay veces, a ver. Hay veces que en británico sí se va a pronunciar y eso ocurre cuando, déjame ver mi nota, que lo tenía acá. Cuando hay un sonido vocal adelante. Espérate, voy a pensar en un ejemplo, ¿ya? Okay, we have air, bear, care, share, fair, there, where, hair. Sonido air. Ya, ¿qué es lo que quiero intentar para terminar? Pancha Poppins, Jenny Jenny, Chamorrín, Dinelly. Yo creo que Diana. Vamos, Diana. Let's go.
Rafa, la Cote dijo que quería.
Diana, what?
La Cote dijo que ella quería.
¿En serio? Ah, ya,
Sí.
Mary. Ya, Mary. Dale, Mary.
At.
No hay chat, no hay chat.
Pero no prometo nada.
No worries. Remember, here,
Here, there, care, share, fair, there, where, here.
Perfect. Yes. Okay. Nice. Remember, in this case, American is rhotic, so they would pronounce air, there, care, share, fair. The same as the other. Wear. What are you wearing? Oh, what a nice air. Okay, so in this case, the homework is about British. So homework. We don't have classes next week, so I'm gonna give you a bit of a homework. Please, I'm gonna put it in Google Classroom. Record yourself saying all these words: art, or, ear, air, and where, all the list, okay, please, with the British accent, okay, with the diphthongs and the phonemes that we practiced today. And finally, these 4 sentences. Everything in one audio record, and you're gonna put it in Google Classroom, and I'm gonna give you a lot of time. I'm gonna give you until the week of la semana del... No tenemos clase la próxima semana, no los voy a molestar mucho. Para el 23. Para el 23. Así lo comentamos el lunes 24.
¿Lo subimos a Classroom o no?
Sí, lo voy a poner ahí. Es que es mejor porque así tengo evidencia. Ya. And to finish, give you a clue. This one, first one. Your beard is in my beer. The girl in class has dark hair. The worst bear in the world. Take care of the bear over there. All right. You have a homework to do, and please comments. What did you think?
Tengo hambre.
You?
Creo que suena muy similar.
¿Cómo?
Suena muy similar. Mi mamá recién se reía porque parecía que estuviéramos diciendo lo mismo. Era como lo mismo.
¿En qué sentido? No entiendo.
Entre ver y ver era como igual.
Ah, ya.
Muchas gracias.
Entre beer y beer.
Están riendo conmigo de eso.
Y la D es lo único que lo para el sonido. Okay, so do you think it will be interesting to continue with this?
Yeah.
Righty, guys. So I won't take more of your time. And Janice, yes, I'm gonna put this PowerPoint in Google Classroom too. Thank you. Un poco muy rápido. Sí, es que era muy poco tiempo. Y si es que no ponía algo práctico, vamos a estar así. Fome. I'm gonna upload the video, I'm gonna upload the class, and I'm gonna upload this PowerPoint so you can rewatch it as many times as you want. Please go and check tonight the Google Classroom so you can see the homework about the recording there. Next class, in 2 more weeks, we're gonna see the different variations of English in the UK. All right, people, thanks for participating. And Diana, we'll try to go slow next time. Yes, good comment.
Chao, profe.
All right.
Chao, profe.
Vale. Voy a dejar unos videos de referencia. De hecho, mucho del material que saqué hoy día lo estudié de un youtuber, así que por supuesto que sí. Para que ahí tengas para practicar. Okay,
Chao, mister.
Bye. Bye, Ignacio. Good to see you. Good
Chao,
to-
profe, cuídese.
Cuídense, profe.
Bye. Enjoy your day. Enjoy Monday. All right.